Thank you guys for subscribing to my video, and you are now hanging with Devons. I am King Devon, and today we're going to talk about our visa process. So this is the update to our long journey. We've been waiting 3 years to finally get this interview for my wife's visa from the Dominican Republic to the United States of America. We finally were granted an interview, and we had it today. So I want to share that interview with you guys. So if you could do me a favor, please hit the subscribe button, follow, like, and I'll keep you guys posted along our journey. All right. So the interview was in Santo Domingo, um, 8 o'clock in the morning. So what we decided to do, we went to the city because we stay in Puerto Plata. We went to the city and we stayed in a hostel that was 5 minutes away from the embassy. Now, I wouldn't recommend that hostel. I only done it because we needed 3 beds, and it was right. We wanted to be close. We didn't want to be late, and that was the closest we could find. And like I said, I'll do a video about the hostel, but I wouldn't recommend it. I am going to talk about it though. But let's get back to this visa interview process. If you guys are trying to get a visa to the United States, then you might want to stay tuned. All right, so me and my wife prepared. We've been waiting 3 years for this interview. It finally came. I think it got set back because of COVID when the embassy shut down. But we were excited. We didn't know what to expect. So we got a room, like I said, because we want to be fresh and ready for that 8 o'clock, 8 in the morning interview. So we decided to stay overnight the night before and then go to the interview. So we got up 5 o'clock in the morning. We got down there in front of the embassy. We were 5 minutes away from our hostel hotel room, and it was very easy to find. It's on the main road. A lot of people sitting outside. A lot of people trying to get you to park. They got signs everywhere. But do yourself a favor, just park right in front of the embassy because it's so convenient. There's plenty of parking space. You don't have to walk, but across the street is right in front of it. I think it was like 100 pesos. Shout out to my wife's brother who gave us a ride and took care of that. So that was very, very considerate. Um, so we got there, and at 6:30 in the morning, there was a line. And when I say a line, there was a line. People standing out in front of the embassy. It was crowded, at least a couple of hundred people. So we got in line at about, I want to say, our interview was at 8. We got in line at around about 7. I want to say 7, and we stood in that line for 2 hours. 2 hours. Wasn't moving. 2 hours. There's 3 lines: immigrant, non-immigrant, and the United States. Something for that line. We were in the non-immigrant visa line, and it was the longest. So what happens is, like I said, we prepared. We did all this research. We did all these interview questions. We learned everything we thought they would ask us. We had all of our documents. I had this huge briefcase full of all these documents. Everything that I uploaded, I had the original copies. We had photos. We had everything you could think of, extra stuff if needed, and we were ready. Um, when you get up to the front of the line, finally, they're going to ask you for 2 things: a passport and your confirmation letter that you had a interview. Now that letter comes in your email, so you just print that out. It's just 1 page. It's going to tell you the time and the day of your interview. Make sure you have those 2 things. Once they look at those 2 things, they're going to check you off in the system and let you move forward to the door. The door opens and you go inside of the embassy. Once you're inside the embassy, it's like chaos. There's people everywhere. There's windows, rows and rows of windows. People sitting there everywhere. They're going to greet you and ask you what you're there for. Um, you present your papers. They got like 5 computers right in the front when you walk in case you need to print something or look up something. So don't get too alarmed if you didn't bring something and you thought about it at the last minute. You can print it there. I don't know if it costs, I'm not sure. We had everything. Um, then once you pass that line, they're going to direct you to a window to the right. And when you go up to that window, you take your passport to them and your confirmation page. And I think they're going to ask for, I'm not sure what document they asked her for. They're going to ask a few questions. Then they're going to give you a ticket number. When they give you that ticket number, they're going to tell you which windows to look for your number to be called. And we were like 20, between 20 and 29. So there are huge monitors that you can see if your number is called, and they'll alert you. They'll even call it out over the intercom if you don't respond to the window. So we waited there for like an hour and 20 minutes. You get, just sit there and you wait. We hadn't eaten. Um, we were nervous, excited at the same time. We prayed a lot. And let me tell you this, when they finally called our name, um, we were just so excited. I think we had like the best person that we could have possibly got. She spoke English and Spanish. She was just amazing. I just had a feeling when I saw her. My wife told me, hey, that's who we're going to get. She's going to call us. And I looked at her and I said, yeah, we probably are going to get her. She reminds me of my sister. She looks very professional. She's probably going to be very minute. So I said, but I'm not going to think negative. I'm going to think positive. She's going to pass us. This is a good spirit. This is a good person. That's who God brought us uh, to today. So we'll walk up. We're excited. Say hello, hola. She's excited. Um, Here's the funny part. I didn't know we were standing at a glass window. There's glass windows all rows and rows. At least 100 of them on this side, 50 on the other side, or maybe 50 on this side, 25 on this side. Um, I could be exaggerating, but we were standing in the window. I didn't have a mask on. Some people did. Um, and she asked my wife for her fingerprints. She put her fingerprints. The first thing, let me take that back. The first thing she had was to raise our right hand, and she was speaking in Spanish, and I'm just listening. And my wife said, "Okay," and I just nodded, and we put our hand down, and then my wife giggled and said, "You don't understand." So after she did that, she asked my wife to put her hand, and she took her prints. They have a electric thing or something to take her prints. She took her prints. She already had her passport back there from the other window. She already had it in the papers, and so she was asking my wife questions, and I'm listening to the questions while I'm in the window, and I'm thinking they're going to separate us for a very long time. From what I've heard, my wife's going to be Spanish with someone. I'm going to be English. They're going to ask us questions one-on-one. We need to know the answers. We're going to be in this back room or something. That's what I'm thinking. So she's asking my wife questions, and I'm thinking she's asking her these questions to see if they're going to let us do the actual interview. Or they were trying to see if we had everything to do it. Unbeknownst to me, she was actually asking her questions. This was the interview process. I couldn't figure that out. I was like, what's going on? So she was asking her questions, and then I remember her asking my wife about my divorce. And so I heard the lady say, well, let's try this in English. And she turned on the speaker and she asked me, she said, what year were you divorced? And I thought about it and I said, oh, that was a while ago. I'm not even sure. I was just so excited to be divorced. I was just like, let me think. I was like, well, it is an absolute divorce, so I'm so glad at that. And she just laughed and she shook her head. I said, I think it was around 2016, because that's when I, finally had peace in my life. And she typed into the computer. She said, okay. And then she asked my wife some more questions, and I heard her asking about. She asked her, did we have any kids together? And my wife said she was pregnant. The lady was like, congratulations. Then she asked, did I have any kids? And my wife was like, yes, he has several kids. She was like, oh, wow. So she asked my wife for their names. My wife told her all of their names, and then she asked me. She said, um, um, "Why hasn't your kids come to been over to visit your wife?" And I explained to her. I said, "Well, they have different mothers, and we never got along. It's unfortunate, since we didn't get along, the kids didn't really um, weren't really a part of what we have going on." I said they're doing school and careers, and she just nodded and she agreed. She said, "Okay." And I said, "Yeah, that's really unfortunate." And she said, "Okay." So then she asked my wife some more questions, far as just like in general questions, not like maybe two more questions. I can't quite remember. And then I remember some guy came over and was talking to her, distracted her, and they started talking and laughing. And when she had her back turned, I was like, she's going to turn around and she's going to grant my wife a visa. I think this is what's about to happen. And as soon as I thought that, she turned around and she approved it and granted my wife a visa. And it's like my wife was like so emotional. She wanted to cry and she kissed me and she was just so happy. And they gave her this paper with the next process. And we left out of there so full of joy. Everybody could see it on us. You could see all 32 of my teeth. Um, my wife, we had to stop and get a drink of water. We came out, we were so happy. It was just so, it was just so just a blessing. I just first thing I did was thank God. When I was coming out the building, I was just thanking God, and I just I told myself that night I was praying that night and that morning, and I said it's not in my control, so I can't control anything that happens. All I can do is think positive and say that it's already done, and that's what I did. I said it's already done. It's written. It's God's plan. My wife's going to have our baby in the U.S., and we were just so excited and so happy. So I just want to share that with you guys. I appreciate it. Stay tuned. I'm going to have a lot much more update. If you look at my other videos, it shows you the process. I'm losing my voice because it's been 48 hours. I'm just so excited. I'm just so excited and blessed at the same time. It's so surreal. It just feels so surreal. I mean, we knew. I looked up in the sky this morning, standing in the parking lot. I said, "God, give me a sign. Let me know it's going to be okay." And I saw my zodiac sign up in the clouds. It was a bull of Taurus. I was like, it's going to be a good day. So you guys stay tuned. Thank you so much for your support, your wishes, your prayers. I don't have anything else to say. Stay tuned.